Alright guys, I'm Adam with G2 Outdoor Adventures, and today we're going to talk about turkey tail. How to use it, where to find it. We're going to make a decoction with it. So stay tuned, we'll show you how to do it. So I was thinking, with the kids going back to school, fall is kind of creeping in, winter's around the corner, it's a good time to start watching out for your immune system. So turkey tail mushroom, or fungi, really fulfills that niche pretty well. So basically, if you're looking for like an immune modulator, it's really going to boost the cells in your body to kickstart your immune system. Also, the turkey tail is really good for good probiotics. So to try to get your gut moving properly and just functioning well. And another thing it does is it aids in recovery for cancer patients. So it's a big thing over in the Asian cultures that they use turkey tail for cancer recovery. There's a few different ways we could use this. So you could pick these turkey tails, dry them out, grind them into a powder, and you could actually put them in your own capsules, so you can take them in a capsule form. You can make a decoction with it, and that's what we're going to show you guys how to do today. So to start off with, you're going to have to find your turkey tail. So turkey tail grows all over the United States, all over the world really, and it's pretty easy to find. It grows pretty prolifically, but you're going to have to identify it properly, and then you're going to have to find it. But it grows in hardwood forests. So if you have an older hardwood forest that's a little bit more mature, that has these dead, down, rotten trees, that turkey tail is going to grow in those dead trees. So to identify it, we could do a couple things. So if you check out my Indian pipe video, I didn't add the scientific name into that video because I really didn't find it would help most people out. Turkey tail, on the other hand, is Trametes versicolor. So that versicolor is kind of maybe a little more self-explanatory, but when you look at the turkey tail, it has alternating colors. And so those colors will help you identify. So try to remember the versicolor and Trametes versicolor, and that will be an aid for you in the future. Unlike our Indian pipe, which is the Monotropa uniflora, I really didn't find that to be helpful for most people. So when you're identifying your turkey tail, there's a few key features. So one, the turkey tail is going to have kind of a rubbery kind of consistency to it. So when I grab it, it doesn't necessarily crumble apart. It has some rigidity to it. Obviously, the alternating colors we talked about, and these colors can vary. They could be different shades of gray, brown, redishes, different blacks. Obviously, it has the white in there. But those colors can vary depending on what kind of minerals they're getting and what kind of tree they're growing on. So when we look at the bottom of these, they do not have gills. They have itty bitty microscopic pores, which are pretty hard to see with the naked eye. But if you have a turkey tail, or what you think is a turkey tail, and it has gills on the bottom of it, it is the wrong plant. And this is a fungi. So when we look at these and you go to identify them, those are the big key factors. Another one is, even after a rain or in a dense forest where there's a lot of humidity in the air, when you touch the turkey tail, it is going to be relatively dry to the touch. So some mushrooms, when they're growing up, you touch them and they're slimy or gooey feeling. That does not have this. So this is a very dry, almost like a bark consistency, or maybe inner bark but not slimy. So make sure it does not have gills, has pores, has the versicolor, alternating colors, similar to a turkey tail, and it also has that rubbery, dry kind of texture to it. Alright, so now you guys know what to use it for, where to find it, and how to identify it. So now let's go ahead and gather some of this. So the nice thing about turkey tail fungi here is you really can't over harvest it. It grows all over the place, it grows back real fast. But we're going to want to pick some of these, and these I already picked, that's why they're falling off. But basically, if you grab that turkey tail and just softly pull it away, it'll come right off the tree. Now it might take a little bark with it, you can clean that up later. But you basically just wiggle it right off the tree and you can harvest it. If it has a little bit of dirt, you could shake it off, blow it off, rinse it off if need be. But we're going to gather a handful of these in our container. We'll go back to camp and we'll show you guys how to make a decoction with this. Alright guys, so sorry about that brush hog in the background. My neighbor's out in the woods. He's cutting trails for deer hunting coming up here in Kentucky. But we're going to add our turkey tail mushroom here. And just to reiterate, it has to have spores in the bottom. And the reason I'm bringing it up again is as we were looking for some turkey tail, we came across some other fungi that was very similar in color, but when you looked at the bottom of it, it did have the gills in the bottom of it. Has to have little itty bitty pores. So we put our turkey tail in our container here, and all we're going to do is we're going to add enough water to cover it, and we're going to start boiling it. So now for our decoction, we're going to want to boil this for about 5 to 10 minutes for it to extract that properties out that we're looking for, those immune boosting system properties. So another thing you could do with your turkey tail is you could cut it up or tear it up to create more surface area. And also, if you want to use this in long term, you could store this by drying it out, putting it in a mason jar with a little dry pack, and you could use it in the future. So we're going to add some water to our container, and we're just putting enough to give it a good coverage. I got about 1.5 inches of water in there, maybe 2 inches. So anytime you're doing a decoction, you're trying to extract those properties out of there, but you're really looking for plant material that is woody or fibrous. Maybe something like bark or a tree root. You could use it as a decoction for stems. Obviously in this case we're doing it on the fungi, but it's a very tough barky material kind of fungi. So in the process of trying to conserve our fuel a little bit and just speed this whole thing up a little bit, if you cover your container, it's going to get up to that simmering temperature a lot faster. So we're about 5 minutes in. We'll take the top off, take a look at it. So as this is cooking down, if you guys are running out of water, you could just add more water to it. So my whole point of this turkey tail today is really to start boosting my immune system for that fall weather coming up, where you tend to get sick, and everybody already knows COVID's on the rise. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add some more water to this. So we made our decoction to extract all the good properties out of this turkey tail. But now what I'd like to do is I'm going to put some more water into it, and I got some white pine needles, and we're going to add those white pines to this water here. So these white pines, they're just absolutely filled with vitamin C and vitamin B12, along with some other very good vitamins that are going to help fight off and protect your immune system. But now if you added the pine needles to the boiling hot water, you would actually start breaking down the vitamin C and destroying it. So you don't want to overcook your vitamin C or your white pine needle here. So we got our drink almost done here. So our white pine needle tea, they kind of turn to that brown color, so that's how we know they're done. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to add some raw honey. So we already know that the honey has all kinds of benefits to it, but for this case it has a lot of those antioxidants and immune boosting properties we're looking for. Alright guys, thanks for joining us today as we made our turkey tail mushroom tea. And as always, make sure you contact a local herbalist or a professional before you consume any plants out of the woods. We'll catch you next time.